What's up, guys? Mr. Leventhal here. We're going to be talking about the Bantu people, or some teachers call them the Bantu. And hopefully we'll also have time to talk about the Swahili in this very video. So let's get started. I'm going to try and go quickly so we can get two ethnic groups in one video. Alright, so they are located in southern and central Africa. Write this down. Their main religions are Islam, Christianity, and traditional African religions. And their main language is Bantu. So write these three things down, and this is for the Bantu ethnic group. Here we see them hanging out with some livestock, dressed very colorfully. These are the Bantu people of southern and central Africa. Here you see their homes, right? Not all Bantu people live in homes like this. Some of them live in like tall buildings and just mansions, houses. But these are some of the traditional homes of the Bantu people. I like this dude's face here. This guy looking here. Very cool clothing. This lady, this other girl here, some Bantu people. So the Bantu are a little different because they encompass a huge amount of different ethnic groups that all share common Bantu ancestors from a long time ago. So here's the story. Like around 3,000 years ago, there was this ethnic group called the Bantu, and they lived over here around like modern day Cameroon, Nigeria. And these guys spoke the Bantu language. And then over time, they began to migrate to other parts of Africa, to the southern parts, the eastern parts. They moved through the rainforest and along the Congo River. And some people say that they probably went to look for new lands for farming. But when they did this, they kind of spread out through other parts of Africa. They followed rivers and streams. Here you see, this is the Bantu cradle near Cameroon. Some of them went down here along the western coast. Some went over the rainforest to Uganda, down over here to Mozambique, all of this region. And this is where the Bantu people currently live. And they were introducing farming, herding, and iron tools to these regions. They're like, we're bringing these new technologies and these new techniques to different parts of Africa. So this is very important. The Bantu migration, you guys need to know. The Bantu migration, write this down. The Bantu migration was very important because it's one of the largest movements of people in African history and in the world, really. But this was a huge movement of people. They were just kind of spreading out and bringing their culture with them and trading and bringing new information to other people, and just kind of, it was pretty revolutionary, pretty major. And today, I think way over 60 million people in Central and Southern Africa speak languages that are all related to each other, that are all Bantu, rooted in the Bantu language. But Bantu is many different types of people, like I said. See here it says there's over 400 different ethnic groups that speak Bantu-related languages. Okay, that's a lot. Here you see some Bantu kids, a Bantu woman and her Bantu baby, or Bantu baby. And many Bantu settled in areas that had where there was also Muslims, and so they kind of are like Bantu Muslims. There's also some Bantus that became Christians. So Bantu practice a wide variety of religions. They're not only practicing traditional African religions. Here you see like a Bantu Muslim girl and her brother, possibly. And then these people, they're probably Christians, because in sub-Saharan Africa there's lots of Christians. These are probably some Bantu Christians, just hanging out there with their family. Here you see, oh, these are cool. These little haircuts these kids have. Cool haircuts. These Bantu women, maybe some Muslim Bantu women. Check out these Bantu people here with the cool necklaces. Okay. And some of them are still practicing traditional animist religions, like the traditional African religions. They believe that spirits are found in natural objects like rocks and lakes and rivers and mountains and waterfalls or beautiful places. Well, this guy here on the left, he's awesome. He reminds me of like the Ultimate Warrior in WWF or WWE, as you new kids call it. And then these are some other Bantu dudes here. And the Zulu are actually a type of Bantu that are famous for their warrior skills. These guys got like shields and spears, and they were pretty important when it came to fighting against the Dutch and the British during the European colonialism of Africa, the Zulu like stood up and battled against the British. Maybe I'll show you guys a little bit of like movie footage of that. But yeah, the Zulu are pretty well known. Shaka Zulu, he's like the most famous Zulu guy. All right, we're gonna do this, guys. Let's do Swahili. Let's jump right in. Swahili. This is a different ethnic group. Okay, so let's write these things down. Where do they live? East coast of Africa, like Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, the island of Zanzibar, which I think is part of Tanzania. Main religion is Islam, and then also Islam, but they mix it with traditional African religion. So it's like half Islam, half traditional African religion. And this is like super important to the Swahili people. And their main language, once again, is Swahili. So they are the Swahili people, and they speak the Swahili language, which is actually a very beautiful language. I'll play you guys some Swahili music in class. But this is kind of where they live. Look at the map here. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, a little bit in Democratic Republic of the Congo, Rwanda, Burundi. Okay? Okay. All right, here's some Swahili people. Check out this guy with the little mustache. These Swahili women. Super cool clothing. Super nice pattern. I mean, I would wear this stuff. I would wear this stuff if it was culturally acceptable in the United States. I mean, I seriously would. And check out these cool dudes having like a dance party. These kids got their bodies painted. I love this guy here. Smiling, looking up. He is like in some trance. Just having this guy with the yellow pants. Super fun party. Some Swahili kids. Okay, so they developed along the eastern coast of Africa, the Swahili. So, but remember I told you they were Muslims. How are there so many Muslims in the eastern coast? Well, what happened is Arab and Persian traders would come down on boats and trade with the African people. And many of them settled there and married like Bantu people. And then they mixed Bantu with Arab Muslims. And that's what the Swahili are. They're a mix of Arabs, Bantu people, and even people who may have been even from like India, across the Indian Ocean. Look how beautiful this picture is. This beach here and this ocean, all along the Swahili coast. Very nice. And actually, Swahili language is a mix of Bantu and Arabic. And Swahili means one who lives on the coast. That's what Swahili actually means in their language, Swahili, which is a mix of Bantu and Arabic. Look how beautiful this beach. Look at this water, guys. Look how gorgeous this is, this white sandy beach. Very nice. So most Swahili people today live in the city. They're like farmers. Like, they live in the city and they work like normal. Some of them are farmers. Some of them do herding. They used to do lots of farming and herding, but now they just kind of live in the city, just do like normal, regular jobs. But many of them are fishermen. Since they live on the coast, there's many fishermen, woodworking. They also like help build boats and things, and traders like their ancestors. And if you look at some of the Swahili people, they're kind of like look at this girl. She looks kind of Arab, but kind of Bantu. Look at this little kid with the earrings, with the stretched out gauges. Very impressive. So most of them are Muslims. Islam has brought a lot of influence to this region. Look at these Swahili dudes. But something interesting is that these Swahili men, sometimes they wear these necklaces that have little charms, and in the charm there's like a verse of the Quran, and they like, it's super tiny, and they put it in their necklace, and it like protects them from harm. They believe that. But this guy, what is this guy's headgear is straight up awesome. Okay. Yeah, and there's also these local beliefs. Before the Muslims and the Arabs came to this region, they had these local beliefs, and they're known as Mila. Mila. You should write this down. One Swahili belief of the Mila is that spirits can possess people. They believe that a spirit can like take over a person's body and like control them, possess them. So that's something you should write down. One Swahili belief of the Mila is that spirits can possess a person. You should have also written that Swahili means one who lives on the coast. I forgot to mention that. And that their language, Swahili, is a mixture of Bantu and Arabic. You should write that down. Swahili language is a mixture of Bantu and Arabic. Okay, we don't have a lot of time. Let's keep going. Check out these people. Very cool clothing. These guys are so awesome. So, many Swahili see a close link between their religious beliefs and medicine and healing. They sometimes heal people with medicine. Okay? Here you see some Swahili homes. And that was it, guys. We did it. So remember, Arabs, Ashanti, Bantu, Swahili. That's it. Remember that.